Everybody, welcome back with the Purplatypus is the name, and welcome to another sort of Convallaria video. Today I'm going to be going over Hasna, kind of a team for her, and or rather units that work well with her, and we're going to be doing a little bit of a showcase here of her abilities. So who is Hasna? What does she do? She is kind of a weird assassin character. She's a ranged magical seeker, which is pretty unique. And she specializes in basically doing a debuff to targets that will lower their attack and defense kind of passively, and then also doing good crit damage. She has like a crit synergy, and she also has incredibly high sustain, especially against weaker targets, but she has a lot of self-energy regeneration. So I've kind of already gone over her in a different video. I'm just going to kind of show you the build that I've gone with and why we've gone for it and what characters we're going to combine with her to kind of get an effect. I'm not going to do a full stage, but I'm going to give you a demonstration of how her abilities can work together. So I ended up going with the Starry Sky Heritage just because it's powerful, honestly. This is not built for her. This is built for Simona, so I'm not actually like going to mess with the engraving very much. However, this is reasonable engravings. I was using the focused one because it increases her single target damage and it gives her increased ranged. The issue is her passive, you got to be within like 3 tiles. So maybe the focus one as she gets closer to 5 stars is really good, but you have to be within 3 tiles, so you're not really using this ranged at all. And the 6% magic attack, when you're launching a single target attack, 6% of your HP is more than a 6% boost to your magic attack, right? Because this number is bigger. If they're both 6%, then this one is just, it's just going to be more damage overall. So if you have an extra Starry Sky Heritage, you probably want to use it on her. Other than that, honestly, the Gazing Orb, none of these other staves are really good for her. Maybe there's one I don't have. I don't think so at this point, but I guess I never know. But the Gazing Orb, it just does 15% more damage when single target attacks. She's basically a single target attack Andy. Now, the Roaring Flint, this is good. I don't think I mentioned this in my previous video. I think I did maybe the pill even. What I didn't process is that this fire attack you could use. You could also use this, but I mean, if you have a gust, you probably are going to want to save that for him. But if you're not using a gust, you can use this to proc your passive, right? This passive. After you attack, you inflict Hidden Fragrance. This will do AoE Hidden Fragrance at instant speed, meaning that you are going to be able to target things with Hidden Fragrance. And you don't need to do it because, again, you could always just attack and do Hidden Fragrance anyway. But if you really want them to have Hidden Fragrance before you use your big moves, you could then use this as like an emergency button or just apply it to a lot of characters. It's very powerful. You're probably going to want to use it. Now, we are using Verdict of Justice. This is not a perfectly built item for her. Again, I haven't invested that much in actually building her out like to be optimal because I'm not sure how much I'm going to actually use her currently. But we'll see how she does in this video, how much damage she kind of does. But basically, the crit chance and crit damage. Why? Because her buff passively makes things 15% easier to crit. So I'm going to count that as a 15% crit hit. That you only need to roll an 85 to guarantee the crit. So she has 15% crit chance. I think there's a passive 5% as well, but let's just assume it's 0%. She has a 15% crit chance. She has another 15% here, so she's at 30%. And then here, you get another 15% before attacking with this attack specifically, if they have Hidden Fragrance. Actually, I don't even think you need the Hidden Fragrance. But so you're going to be up at 45 passive hit crit chance when you're attacking something. You can also get this to go off, so the 45 goes up to 75. We're going to get around that. I am using this, but I actually don't think this is super important. But it's still kind of nice just to have. But this is not we're going to be running teammates that'll make that a little bit easier. So this is the build we're going with. As for characters you want to run her with, number 1 is probably Coco. Coco's Iron Pot Stew gives crit 2, so gets 30% crit. You don't need to be near an enemy at the start of your turn. Coco goes first. She could just give her the crit. She also gives her crit damage on top of that. And you get the bento, which is pretty nice. And honestly, you could also even, because you could use this, or if you don't want to use that, you could also just use like the damage up 3, damage reduction 3, right? Like if you already have the crit effect, you could just increase your damage. Coco's just really great to have on pretty much any team. Another character I think you want to consider running, let's talk about Gloria first. Gloria is a pretty obvious one. Increase the movement, increases your attack. Gloria is just pretty powerful in terms of buffing your allies, so that's pretty good. Especially when you're a range seeker, it's going to be easier to stay next to Gloria. Another character you might want to consider, though, is actually Cole. Cole hasn't seen a lot of play for me for a while. You can tell by their build. But they do have the Alacrity Perfect Assassin, which is going to give you another 15% crit chance. So suddenly that, like, what is it, 70% chance? I think I got it up to, either way, this should bring this up to roughly a guaranteed crit. I think it's 1530. 1530, 60, 70. I think this brings it up to a 90% crit chance. So maybe you're still not quite guaranteed. But I mean, I think that's a really nice thing to have. And then other than that, you could always bring Magnus. Magnus, I don't know if their effects stack. Maybe we could try that out here. In this video, we'll try that out. I'll let you know. If it stacks, absolutely. And of course, Edda is great. Edda gives damage up 3, extra move, and then also can shred magic defense, which is very powerful, especially for a character that does all magic damage. Now, that's if you want to go all in on her being damage. You don't really need to focus on this. Like, she doesn't need to assassinate things in one turn. Yes, she heals when she does, but she's also regenerating a lot of energy. So just a little bit of support, and she's could be like, unlike a Gust who's like all in and destroys everything right away, she could be a more consistent damage dealer. And just pretty much every single turn, hit with penetrating. Just hit with this, hit with this, hit with this, get crits, get crits, get crits. It's a lot of damage. It's just not explosive all in one turn. But it absolutely is she's a very viable sustained damage dealer. So let's actually go into a combat here. We're just going to use one of these event stages I haven't done yet. I'll get to them. It's just like, I actually only have a day, huh? All right, I'll have to work on these tonight or something. I've been playing so much Bizarre. Like, I don't know if you've been over to that channel, but it's not, I mean, the views aren't great, but I'm putting a lot of work into it. So we're going to take out Simona. We're going to take out August. We're going to bring our movie boy. And again, we're going to bring Cole, literally, because, I mean, Cole's very good, and they could do a great job. But we're just going to bring them for the sake of that buff. And then I'm going to take out Gloria here, actually, so we could try the Magnus thing, see if this works. It's the turn order here. She is very slow for a Seeker. Let's also get our movement boost, and then I don't think we need... Yeah, let's just keep Ragnarok on, you never know. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at how this goes. This is a very slow team. Is it? Or are they just fast? I think it's a combination of the two. All right. Her being slow is not necessarily bad. It gives you time to do setup, right? Uh-oh. This isn't the stage I meant to do. Yeah, whatever. Here we are. We're going to try to use this guy. So first, I want to move this. I just want you to stand by this guy. So you should have the debuff, right? You have the experienced general. I wonder if this counts as 2 separate debuffs for the sake of, like, the destroyer stuff or whatever. There's, like, this thing's like, you do more damage per debuff. I think it's Rawia that actually does that. So I wonder if this counts. These are debuffs. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I actually don't know. Characters with shield are immune to knockback. Characters without shield gain move 1 instead. Awesome. Reduce. Okay, so they've got their debuff. And we are going to use this. Again, this just boosts the crit and the crit damage of our team. You're going to do your thing. Cole, you're here just to be a badass. Maybe you just crit this guy for fun. Great hit. All right, so... Oh, I wanted Adia to go first. Adia. Whatever her name is. You know, Edna. Edna mode. All right, let's go ahead and throw this. Oh, can you not hit both of them? I want to show you that it could be AoE, so we'll hit these 2 here. So we're going to use this, right? The Prairie Fire. Also, look at the range on this thing. It's actually pretty good. And if you have the other one, it even goes another tile further. But I actually don't think that's very good. So we are going to throw this up. So very first thing, you're going to notice, boom, they both got smoke on them. Now, this guy is not going to be affected currently. Because he's too far away, right? But this guy will be getting affected. You can see here, it's got the lingering fragrance there. So we are going to move up here and then attack. I mean, we're doing 9,000 damage. Actually, we're going to do 2 things. I'm going to come up here and stand by. I want to see if he's affected by both of these at the same time. Lingering fragrance. So it doesn't look like it does stack. Debuff, but this one, you do get the extra debuff of the critical chance, but I guess these all take the same effect. So unfortunately, it does not work the way I would like it to. I guess that's too strong. Sure. I disagree. Let's go ahead and go here. So let's just actually attack. Can we, I guess there's no high ground right here, so it doesn't matter. That's why we brought Edda. So you come here, you do a... that's right. We didn't do this yet. I was like, wait a second. Why are we hitting them? Because we're not doing the buff. All right, so now this should be a very... They are still 15% more likely to hit as long as you're 3 tiles away. Let's slow this down. Watch the cool-ass animation. I mean, that was 18,000 damage. I mean, what level are these guys at? I mean, they're only level 55. They're not particularly strong enemies. Yeah, their defenses are pretty low, but still, I mean, that's great damage. She gets to move again after she crits. And so what's good about that is she just used a 4 energy attack, and she has 4 energy right now, right? Because she gets 2 energy back when she hits them. She recovers 40% HP when she kills them, and then at the end of her turn, she's going to regenerate an energy, right? So, like, look at this. So I wish I could just see her crit chance, but she has crit damage 15%, crit hit 30%, but she also has a 15% crit rate with alacrity, and then she also has the built-in 15% when they're debuffed. She also has this one gives her another 15%. So it's like she's not maybe the easiest character to crit with, but she's probably the second. I think Cole has that ability that gives like invisibility that gives you a crit 5 or something. But let's go ahead and come over here, do your job, slow him down. And again, this absolutely shreds magic defense. So let's go ahead and just put this up here. Maybe I should have brought Act again instead. Oh, that's right. I forgot that's an instant skill. Edda is like legit my favorite character if all my damage dealers weren't physical. Like, I have Barrel. Maybe I should just bring Barrel Edda more. I mean, I bet that's like literally broken. They're just old. So I'm like, yeah, who brings them? Why are you shining? Look at this guy. He only has 491 magic defense right now. And he's going 8th. Bro, this isn't even his party. Actually, does this give me a damage buff, right? I think this gives my team a damage buff too with the Warcry. Do you not have Warcry on? What is your deal? Cry of Victory. Okay. I think he did give it. It is damage 2. And then attack down 2 to enemies. Let's go ahead and go up. Sorry, let's go over. Can we move you a little bit closer, like up here? And then just, you know what? Do this. Boom. This is the showcase of Hasna. Her name is Hasna. Look at this. Holy shit. Talk about power. Edda, I was convinced I could make Edda a damage dealer. I was wrong. So look, we're up to 5 energy again, right? And then she gets to just go again. She does have they have advantage, and you're only doing 6,000 damage against a tank with advantage. And then you attack them for 12,000, right? So she is like, I think a lot of people shit on her, myself included. I said she sucks. That was also partially a pun because I thought it was funny. But there is no doubt that she's not, like, when a Gust comes out and then she comes out, I don't think she's as impressive. But her ability to sustain and just do the exact same thing every turn while constantly keeping the enemies debuffed, I think is a very relevant thing. I mean, she could definitely do damage. She's a single target damage dealer. And she's immune to blind. I mean, what else do you need? But yeah, that's basically Hasna. That's the team kind of units you want to be looking with. Edda is really good. Beryl is really good. Cole is really good. These are some super synergistic characters. Magnus, unfortunately, is a total non-boat. I was so convinced it would work because they're different names, but a comment said that they don't think that they worked, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go check it out. So that is that. Let's take a quick look at her, see if there's any last-minute things that I want to say. Oh, also, I forgot about the Tarot. That's another 15% crit chance. So yeah, it's either 90 or 100% at this point. The only skill I would want to get rid of potentially if I'm doing this is this skill. If you're running other characters with a little bit support, this feels a little redundant and not that good. But there's not really another skill I would really want to run because, like, if you're running this with crit 1, it's like that's not as good as what what the hell is her name? Bro, the girl with the fucking frying pan, Coco. Probably not as good as what she's giving you. You could run this, but this does AoE, Hidden Fragrance, and it takes your turn, which is probably just worse than the other lightning, attack. You can run Life Devour, but it's just a weaker version of this ability. So she doesn't have like a lot of other abilities you might actually want to run. But also you do have this guaranteed crit as well. If you ever need a guaranteed crit in your pocket, this is pretty good. It is physical magic damage. It uses your magic attack to deal physical damage. It's pretty weak, but if you get a bunch of stats on it, it is still a really good way. And when you get a crit, you do get to, I believe, move again, right? Yeah. The maximum range R1, and it allows her to move 2 tiles after landing a crit. So you can move, you could basically go up to someone, hit them, recover 2 energy. If you kill them, you heal. If not, you still get a move after that. So overall, it's all, her kit makes sense to me. I guess you could run Hypnosis. Just do a single target sleep on someone. Not bad to just have it around, I suppose. I honestly would consider running that over this. Hypnosis is really good, but you got to find an enemy that you could use it on. But overall, she's basically a penetrator, if you know what I mean. And that is going to be it for today, unless I see another character that's like exceptionally good with her. Honestly, running Edda and then running Beryl and just piercing through all their defenses is probably great in general. But Cole is also really good. You could run Miguel. She is a drifter, so you could run the World Drifter, give her an extra 5% attack and 10% defense, but then you got to run Miguel, and it's honestly not that insane of a buff anyway. But yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. Anyway, that's all. Much love. Purplatypus is Purplatypus. I'll see you on the flip-flops. Bye!